Oh, it doesn't let me mute it. I know. Okay, I know. Where's hide person? I told you I wanna create an animation of Neo and put him in here so that way you just got the Neo freaking bobblehead here going on and he's over here just talking to you. They would never know, would they? You think TikTok would figure it out? I don't think so.
You can get you know how you put those like memes.
That's because I lean
What you
forward.
do?
I
Oh
lean
yeah.
forward, sorry. Yeah, I was saying this is gonna drive me nuts how it's like not proportional, but I'll fix that later. I don't have time for that. But Um, yeah, that's like apparently the new cool thing to do. I swear, I don't understand it. I'm a big make it make sense, and I'm your biggest fan. But when I'm scrolling through TikTok and you got people with like animal head masks on, and I went through this one, and this dude had a mask on with dark glasses in a dark room with a little like hole for his mouth talking, and I'm
Yeah, what is up with that?
like,
I can't
why are we,
understand.
why? Like, what? Like, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, like that, if you go in and you're taking trading advice from somebody that's sitting in a dark room with dark shades, that already should, red flag. Just saying. So,
I don't know that. I played a lot of games. That's like a good side quest or something. You
it's like the villain I gotta go after or something. I'm gonna use the restroom, guys. We had a deep late talk, guys. So thanks for joining in on TikTok. But yeah, I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay, we're back. Pile in here real quick. Gotta get my protein. All right. Yeah, that man, the morning session went by pretty fast. The pre-market. We're in some deep conversation there. So, we'll let the old TikTok gang come in. Like always, if anybody in Google Meet's able to put it on their phone and mute it, it seems to be helping at times. That's an interesting algo variable that somebody told me that I actually agree with, and it seems to help, and that makes sense on why some things happen, which is somebody told me when I go live, it sends out an alert, and depending how many people come in that got alerted helps determine your algo, right? And that's why I said I kind of have an ecosystem that's anti that because you find me on TikTok and then join on Google Meet and never go back to TikTok again, right? So thanks, you guys are the best. Um, yeah. All right. Let me look at something. Uh. Hmm. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna let some people come on in on TikTok before we get rocking and rolling here, but interesting place. So I will go through quickly. We had a really fun time in Asia last night. For those that joined, welcome. Appreciate it. Worked out really well. You know what's funny is we didn't even notice that in Asia last night. You guys noticed that? That rejection that they did on the Asia sweep that we played? It's literally was a perfect tap and fail hold of the 50 that we just marked. But yeah, so last night in Asia we did really well. We saw the Nvidia push, we pushed it up, we saw the breakdown. My thought was I'm not taking that short yet because I think it's a fake. Ended up being a fake, worked out pretty well. We channeled up. This kind of showed its hand a little early. It ended up doing what I've seen it do before, which is right before Tokyo we had a burst. Usually once that 8 p.m. hits, we burst, not before. So the fact that it burst before kind of has a behavioral characteristic like US Open. If we push north early, and then usually it's a sign that it's going to pull on the open. And so when we got the pull, we got the dojis, the close below, created our V, 50% hold. The moment we got that kind of pull back through, right? Most people are in that short either from here or from here. And we actually rode the short down pretty well. So as it was coming through, we put stops above the neck and we held it, caught the secondary drop. I had the pleasure of being stopped out on this candle by like 75 cents. So as we were rolling it here, I was placing it, and I had my stop here, but I was on intraday, so I was a little, I didn't want to go up too much, so I pulled it here when we were here, and it came up, smacked it, and then dropped, which was awesome, but that's okay. As this pulled, remember I was telling you guys earlier how it's interesting, it did the same, we're doing the same on the high time frame. Pull, channel, we pushed, held support on that. This was also, I think, a 618 pull, and then we rejected back up. And so we played this long here, and this was about 9 o'clock, and then we got the pull, and then we played this long here. Neo targeted, I think I took profit up here somewhere. So it was just literally two really good trades. It worked out really well. And Neo's call was that we were going to hit 576. And so I didn't want to stay up real late. And so I stopped trading somewhere in here. Yeah, because we got off around 10. So somewhere around here. And it was really cool to wake up and see that we went all the way to just about his 576 before we rejected back down. So if you are one that loves to put TPs, that's a great lesson as to why you don't put it at the level. You pull it down a little bit, or you would have been not very happy with the fact that you would have been stuck in that. So, yeah, interesting little session on that. You can see how we're still channeling, guys. I want to see how we come into open because we do have a little bit of a push and flag going on. I'm not going to go deep into the higher time frame of the TA, but I will tell you that these levels are important. So this 645 is going to be a 50% hold or break from a high structure. And so if it is going to go up in a big way, I will tell you anything above 645, I will not be shorting any of those tops. I don't care how high it goes. I will let it push, let it pull, and I will take the long back because anything that is above this 645 is going to just be massive. You'll get caught in the short if you try. Anything below here is going to have an inverse. Now, there is a little micro line that we did on the 5 minute. You can see it's a pretty good little trend. When you are holding in this range, if we do it long enough and then we break it, we would be forming kind of our inverse head and shoulder style, which would be another reason why you would not want to short that top. So if you happen to catch the long and you got low enough volume, end of day, whatever, could be a really good pull, because usually if that is going to play out, we will come back and retest these tops. It just does. Also, this teal line is a 618 on one of the higher time frame fibs, which it's rejecting from. This would be the next one up. So we'll see where we go. But for me, I will I will be most likely only taking longs today. If it drops, I will just let it drop. I don't care. And no, I have to know my position awareness. Any kind of long here is very dangerous because we could sweep and really drop. It's possible. I'll tell you another couple of characteristics to remember is this area here, because remember we're talking market behavior, is where we bounced from the Nvidia news, right? We chopped. There's rare instances it can, right, especially when with Nvidia being involved, but rare instances that we don't at some point come reclaim where the news pushed us. It just usually does. There's some variables I think that may change that. That's a lot of what had us taking shorts yesterday as well, because normally, when you take that full structure, you're going to get that retest of the 50, which we did and shot. And then when you take the low of the actual news and you take it up to these highs, right, is what we were looking at when we were studying it. And so if you take the peak push, we broke the 50, but I think it was the 618 that it hit perfectly in bounce. And so if you take that fib and we pull it like that, that's one we were looking at yesterday. So usually when you break a 0.5 and you don't even touch the 618 and we reclaim the 0.5, that's what caused us to take that long yesterday. So it worked out pretty well. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the Nvidia, that's where I was saying is cautiously on it, is that Nvidia is a different beast, right? It just always is going to be. But normally when we break with news, we retest and reclaim the area that we broke with news. But that's why I was saying Nvidia is one I would give the few exceptions, right? That we may not need to come back and do it, but it typically does. It's the behavior. So regardless, um, why are you making these lines? Oh my goodness. Dude, we got another critic. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna go through my pre-market stuff, and then if you got questions, algo trend, I'll be happy to share those. So, with Nvidia, it can be different. But again, when you make comments like this person's bullish, I listen to it, but I'm gonna be blunt with I don't care. So because news, no matter who it is news, right? These big dogs, like the one you mentioned, also held a short for like 3 years. And so that doesn't really do me good for my intraday trading. So I like to be aware of it, but I don't want to let it sway my bias too much. If you sway your bias on one person, no matter how good they are, that is a position style trader that will hold things for months or years, and you are an intraday trying to trade money or preference, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. So right now I'm on the 5-minute. Yes, I'm gonna be moving forward. So I usually get really going around 9:20, which we're coming up on, because I gotta let people come in on the TikTok side. So if you're intrigued on what's going on, you're welcome to stick around, and you'll see. But yeah, so we'll see where we go. I mean, we have a lot of things going on here. You can see, including, a nice little push parallel bull flag. So we'll see how open treats that if it wants to collapse it. There's a chance that we can pull all the way back down. We do have a little bit of a trend line pulling. I don't usually do a lot of these lower time frame trend lines because I used to be big into trend lines, but once you understand what represents a trend line, what creates it, you really don't need it anymore. So I'm doing it mostly for the visual for you guys. But we have to be aware that there's a chance we could pull to here. If we pull into here at any point, it would be a reclaim of the news. So it's not way out of character if it does, right? And so when we look at it here, like I said, we have some critical levels within here from our higher structure fib retracement, as well as some 50% stuff. So we'll see where the open goes. So for those who are just joining, if you are curious, this is Neo. He is the AI that our company created. NextStepAlgo.com. He is trading mentor, guide, all that. So, and give me 1 second on that. And so he will help you with anything that you need in trading. He will develop you, teach you, refine a strategy, validate an indicator. He has his own data. And so you don't have to link anything, you know, do any settings, nothing like that. You just go to the website, nextstepalgo.com, and we do a free trial so you guys can play with him. So I'll be getting him going here in just a second because it is 9:20. So I can't go through too much of all of your deep questions because we are about to get ready for open. So this line right here is a higher structure 50% level.
I'm locked, loaded, and ready to watch the market lose its mind again. What's the play?
Good morning. We are just getting our charts set up. If you can give me the levels that we want to be aware of right now based on the market conditions. And so we're going to mark up the levels. I'm going to go down to my 15-second chart.
Morning, Nick. Charts are up. Let's see where the market decides to be difficult today. With MNQ at 29,549.75, your overhead resistance is the 29614-29620 bearish order block and that major institutional wall at 29,578.28. Below, you have the VWAP at 29,545.25 as your first friction, followed by the gamma wall at 29,343.81.
I think your mic's off, Johnny.
29,294.08. We are inside the institutional range with sell pressure, so watch whether price rejects that overhead wall or busts through the VWAP to hunt the lower liquidity. Okay. Don't let the chop in the middle mug you.
Don't let the chop in the middle mug you. So let's get our lines out, guys. He's got a gamma wall real low, but again, those could change come market open. So let's see, 340, 381, 294. So we're just gonna get all the levels down. I'm gonna mark these anyways, even though they probably will change. Come open on this, so good deal. You suggest I go on the 5-minute. You want me to go on the 5-minute? Cool. All right, I'm on the 5-minute right now. Oh, I'm sure you can, Algo. You do that. I'll tell you, you get to work on that, and in 3 months we'll do a bot competition. I love it because you're clearly amazing. But guys, we have 7 minutes before open as we're coming through. I will tell you all for that 5-minute comment. I'm gonna still tell you something that's really shocking. If you're really in, that's 15 seconds. If I'm out a little, that's 1 minute. If I'm out a little more, that's 5 minutes. If I'm out a little more, that's 1 hour. If I'm out a little more, right? So, all right. Well, I am gonna mute you, Algo, because we are gonna be busy doing big things here. But you can watch. I'm not gonna kick you. We're just gonna put you on timeout. All right. So, as we got our levels here, we have anything that is blue. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we'll let them watch in silence. Yeah, the trolls crack me up because they don't get under my skin. So we got 6 minutes, guys. We have 4 minutes until we ask Neo the fun questions. So, Brenda, hold on that thought, right? So remember, if you're new to the channel, Neo is going to tell us all that stuff. So if you are trying to figure out the bias to capture the open, you're going to want to wait for 4 minutes, and Neo will tell you. And so we have the levels. Anything that is blue, you're going to see is a level that Neo had me mark. So let me look and see. Is there any we missed? So 549, we got that. He did mention the 545. All right. There it is. Good deal. Okay, so we got our levels from within. So we want to check with him. And what I do, so if you're new to the TikTok, be patient, please. I love the interaction. I will answer comments as quickly as I can. I will not be pivoting off of the NASDAQ because we will be live trading with the help of Neo. To answer your question on the NVIDIA, Neo has the ability to do NVIDIA, yes, among many other things. But I'm not going to pivot to that yet. So we typically, at 9:28, we'll ask a question from Neo about where the market will likely go to wreck the most retail traders. For those who have not had the pleasure to join and see that, I will show you. Any of you fun skeptics out there can go to trading videos. Everything I do is recorded. And Neo has called the morning open damn near every day for about 9 months. You're welcome to go see on our website or the YouTube. So we're just gonna give it about 2 minutes from that. And yeah, those in the room who have been here before, I appreciate you guys answering questions. That helps me a lot. And we'll see where we go with the open. So I did the pre-market stuff with the mentor group that I do, and so far it's kind of playing out to what we thought, and so the way we have it marked. I will tell you in a nutshell, when you are on the time frames here within this structure, this was when the NVIDIA news came out. Typically, news gets reclaimed. NVIDIA is a little different beast, so it doesn't have to, but you definitely need to be prepared for the possibility that it can. Notice how 29,343 is an institutional gamma wall they placed, which is literally right where that would be. And so we don't want to have a deep bias until the market opens, but anything that stays below 645 based on the TA we did, as well as 611 in that range, has the risk of really coming down. Anything that breaks above 645, I would not short because it has a long way to go with not a lot of resistance. And so as we go through, again, we will ask Neo. He is the AI, again, that we created for the company. So if you wanted to check it out, if you are a fan or a troll and you want to try to discredit him, go for it. Nobody's been able to do it yet. And you can go in, free trial. So all you do is go to nextstepalgo.com and there's no settings, no data attachments, no nothing, guys. You can do it from your mobile. So let's put him on sarcastic because it's fun to do that for the opening call here. And let's see what he says. Okay, we have about a minute or so before the US Open. Where would you send price to wreck the most retail traders in the market based on the conditions that you see? And let's see what he says.
If the market wants to maximize the chaos right at the open, it'll likely pump price toward the 29,578 major institutional wall or that 29,604 bearish order block. It lures in the buy the dip crowd, convinces them the trend is magically bullish again, and then rugs them straight into that primary liquidity zone near 29,294. Don't be the exit liquidity for the pump. Wait for the rejection.
He didn't even give any. All right, guys, so we have a minute left. So he is expecting a push and then a potential deep sweep, right? It would fall suit with the what we're talking about. So the 604. So how you treat that quickly is if you get the push through the 604 and we do not break back below, you don't short that, right? Because then it's going to hold and jump. If we sweep that and we lose that 545, then that he's targeting down to the 343, 294. So let's see how it goes. I'm gonna set up my account because I didn't even do that yet. All right, so week open. Let's throw on some indicators here and see what we got here. Definitely got some weak volume. I'm gonna mute this one for now. Put on the trap and block. I'm gonna turn off a few things here. I'm gonna turn off that too. Okay. So there's our push, like he had said, up into our 578. Remember, he said the 578.604. So the loss of the 545 is what would give the deep pull. If we don't get that, then we won't get the deep pull. So let's see if we get that rejection. So we did end up getting the push. I'm going to go back here to my 15 seconds so I can see these candles. So we are rejecting off of some of these walls, getting a nice little sweep pull. And we're getting the drop below. If we can get the close below there, that would support his thesis for me. So I'm trailing mine. And we're trailing, and we're trailing, and there, I don't even know where the DOM went. So I'm only 2 MQ on this one because I already earned in Asia, and I'm up about almost 300 on it. Hope y'all are trailing. I'm just trying to trail, but I don't even know where the DOM is. Okay. So we're getting into the London low. Right here. I'm not watching comments because I'm watching my trail as well. Giving it a little bit of room because I had profit already. I was already up like 3,100, and so if it taps me, then I'll take it and reset. Oh, that tapped my trail. Came back up. How much are we gonna lose today? I don't know about you all, but I mean, we're not really doing any kind of losing. I'm up like 7,000. And we did that in Asia. So, and those who join every day know how to trade Neo. Welcome to Neo for all the critics, and I'm hoping my troll that I muted got the pleasure of watching him nail a market open for the.
I mean, that was a quick 500
for the 10th week in a row. So, welcome to Neo if you have not seen him. He called that one perfect, guys. Like, did you get that, Stefan? Yeah.
That was my
Oh man, you.
I got it now.
Awesome, good job, Paul. Nice. And that's the thing, guys. Those who've been showing up every day, you guys know how to treat that. But for some of you who are just joining the TikTok, I'm laughing because I love TikTok. Because some days, man, you get just such good people, and every now and then you get in the bots and trolls phase. And I haven't had the trolls much, but they don't bother me, but they make me laugh. And right out the gate, people were already like, "Ah, I can make one better than that. This is trash. How embarrassing! You're leaning on this." Like, well, for the 10th week in a row, he just called it. We're gonna go up through the 78 before we flush it down. It's so. Oh, dude, you know I said that when I created this thing. I said if I don't have haters and trolls, man, then it ain't working. But
just wait till this crashes down to 295, like
oh,
he said.
I'm telling you, you already know. I don't think I'm gonna take the extra short, but I'll love to watch it. To watch it do it, but again,
yeah, I wish I would have got back in this short already, but I'm just gonna watch it.
Again, guys, if it doing that would just be a reclaim of the news, which is what is normal anyways. But
got my big win, so now I got to sit in timeout.
Yeah. These are both rapids and they're guaranteed payouts, so I don't need to press anything. So I only made about 300 on that one. I only did 2 MQ.
Well, I'm still holding it. I'm still holding it to show the proof.
Oh, dude, I love that, Gerg, man. Gerg, where's Alton? Come on, Alton. I know you're still holding this too. Oh yeah, I know, right? So, and that's what's funny about it, man, is what I told people is I said I know at some point I'm gonna get a deep amount of trolls, because when people that run other communities that make money robbing people through indicators see what Neo can do, they're going to be threatened. And so the best way to deal with that, the only way they know how to deal with that, is to try to discredit it. And they're not going to be able to do that. So, because he's done it every day and it's recorded for anybody who wants to know. So, but exciting. Yeah. And so, not my first rodeo on it either, so I just laugh about it. That's why I didn't block that one guy, because I want him to sit down and hopefully he stayed and watched. And hopefully he's logging into his codex trying to make his AI, because he says it's really easy. I giggle every... Guys, if it was really easy, I would not have people from other communities and companies. And I had somebody, I don't know if he was on here, it was kind of cool. I'll take it as a compliment. Somebody who owns a quant funding group actually DM'd me about it, which was pretty cool. And so he's doing awesome, guys. And let's see where we go. Again, I'm not chasing the short because I'm not doing any more evals today. I'm just gonna roll these two and take my money from it. But the we'll watch and see. I want to let it roll. So what I would do for me is how I'm going to look through this is I want to see where do we go and what do we reclaim, right? And then when I see my long setup, I will take my long. Now anything below, let me get the indicators. Anything below 645 and the 611 has a risk of dropping pretty far. The low that I have was somewhere in here. Neo had a low somewhere in here, so we were pretty close. This green line is a 0.5 of a higher structure. And so, oh, he's gone. Yeah, most of those nerds come in to just try to... The best part about it, while we're waiting for something to happen, my disclaimer for those on TikTok, before I go into that discussion, I have a pretty big rule, and you all should be doing it too, and that is you take the Neo opening move, put your ass on timeout. You need to not take the next move, because otherwise you are taking a big win to try to jump into a big win, to try to jump into another one, get caught in a landmine, and now you just lost everything. And so that is gambling and FOMO, and you should not do that. Always put yourself on timeout. What?
I've never done that. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
No, that's when Cody says, "Get your cameras out of my house." No. And so that's why I will not go and say, "Give me a long setup, give me a short setup, give me a long," because some of you guys I know missed the opening move, and I know you want that, but I'm gonna explain something really cool. Y'all can have your own Neo. You just go, he's web-based, commercial. You can go and talk to him. I purposely don't ask for updates on that stuff after a great win that we took within the first 2 minutes, while most communities are not letting people trade for the first 15 minutes. And we're done the first 2 minutes sometimes. So I purposely put you on timeout from that, and I highly recommend that you do that as a discipline. But what you want to do is remember, once that first move happens, we don't know, is it getting deep extension or are we going to reclaim? It's US Open, guys. This loves to go down and then volume comes in and it goes the other way and stuff. So, but yeah, on the troll side of it, I laugh because I promise you, you will not get under my skin, and I love to actually talk to the trolls. And if I end up not being able to enjoy myself enough with them, their witty comments, I'll just put up Neo on sarcastic, and I'll let him handle it. And he's pretty much, I think, what is he, guys? He's like 30 for 30 on running off trolls. Neo sarcastic is brutal when when he wants to be. And so let's put him back on funny. All right.
Right now, we can't get through the 1 hour 200. That's what.
Is that what it is?
Trying to push down through, yeah.
Yeah, we have Asia low as well, 432. You got the EU low, 400. I mean, there's a lot of resistance, or support. So we know we had to push. We know we had to pull. Interesting. Those that I teach it, you guys, I'm sure, find this continuing to be fascinating. The fact that we bounced really close to right where that predicted would be. now I want to look at the strength, right? And so when I take this pull, and now that we have somewhat of an established bottom, the 50 lines up really close to Lisma. So if we tap this, get a doji and a close, that might be something I would be willing to enter. But because it would also be a prior low as well, which now just fascinates me even more with what you guys know I'm teaching. To the freaking dollar, Johnny. I'm gonna keep calling you out, Johnny, on it because I know you love that stuff. Girk too. You know, you're a data nerd like me. To the freaking dollar of a predictive before a bounce. So, oh man, once I figured that out, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, it was great last night. It was so good. Yeah, that's why I don't really need to push hard because I mean, I've already got guaranteed money from the Asia sessions. So, but let's see. So we kind of bounced right where we were supposed to bounce. Now we want to take our retracement and see where do we go. So we're hitting the 50, 618. If we reclaim this 45, it's likely going to spring pretty good. So let's keep an eye on that. This is that moment when you have Neo, you should be doing the same thing, is you want to ask him again. Now that we are through the open, great call, by the way. We did almost exactly what you said. We swept the 578. We didn't quite get down to that 294, but everybody caught the short on the way down, and I think everybody is out in profit. So good job on that. I'm going to send that first because, again, he self-analyzes, right? And so I need him to know, great call. That's how he keeps getting better on that.
Glad the shorts paid for your coffee, Nick. Right now,
coffee.
The scrambled
I got my protein shake. What are you talking about?
29,508 major institutional support, while price sits below VWAP at 29,537. I would consider a long only if they hold that support and reclaim the VWAP. Otherwise, if 29,508 cracks, the short path opens up again.
Okay. So I'm going to put 508 because he had already called that a wall. Got it. As we prepare for the trading that we're going to do for the rest of the session, can you list out the gamma walls that you have on your data? And so we're going to adjust these lines, guys. Now we're building our plan, our actual plan from him. And then we'll start looking for, give me a long setup, give me a short setup.
All right, Nick. Let's see
good
where
job,
the
Future
market
King.
wants
I
to
just
play
saw that.
bumper cars. With MNQ at 29,503.75, you're currently duking it out with that active decision zone at 29,507.96. If you're looking up, 29,508.81 is your immediate overhead resistance, followed by the major wall at 29,598.81. Looking down, 29,343.81 is your support, retest zone, with the major structural support working way down at 28,958.81.
598.
Use these as zones to watch for traps and bounces. They aren't magical force fields, no matter how much the indicators want you to believe that.
Yeah. What? Wait a minute. Hold up. Oh, that's structural support. I'm like 28.9. That's interesting because we'll see how today goes. Maybe it doesn't end up the way everybody thinks because he rarely gives levels that low without it meaning something. That's interesting. Now that one's structural, not gamma wall. 598 was a major resistance that the institutions are putting. 343 was his call on that, so that one updated probably from the 240. We have the 507 and the 508. That's really all he gave us. Let's see. Hypothetically, if we were to push through that 598.75, what would be some upper resistances that we would look for? I want to see if he'll give me anything above here, because he didn't give me anything above. He only gave me shit to below, which usually...
If you actually manage to punch through the 29,598.81 wall, your next headache is the bearish order block zone between 29,614 and 29,620, followed by a ceiling around 29,630. Don't throw a parade just yet, though. If price breaks that wall but immediately craps out and falls back inside 29,598, that's your classic signal that the breakout is a trap, not a takeoff.
Interesting. He's just not giving me much at all above this thing. Let's see if he has... Do you have anything in your data or predictions above 645? I did a larger structure TA, and that 29,645 is a pretty decent line. Anything above that, if we happen to break above that? He's going to be like, Nick, stop speculating. Remember that one time when he told me no? I'm not telling you, because it doesn't matter. I'm like, what?
Oh, looking to hunt for the moon, are we? If we manage to shove price through that
Looking to hunt through the moon.
29,645 line without the market imploding, your next boss fight is that 29,661 zone, which is a nasty little confluence of the London, Euro, and 15-minute highs. If you somehow clear that without getting rug pulled, the measured move target sits up near 29,820. Just remember, breakouts without a retest are basically trap bait, so don't be the retail trader who buys the moon mission right into a rejection.
Yeah. That's what I wanted from him right there, so that's good. So if we get above the 645 area, really this kind of 630 to 645, and it can hold that, that's what I was kind of expecting, right? Because it's a pretty good target. Mind you, this whole area here is going to be nasty resistance. If we cannot break that and we begin to break down again, it's going to drop pretty hard. If we can burst through this and we can hold that, then I'm going to only be long on that from the 820. So what good is a Q&A with no answers? Oh my goodness, we have another one of those. Hold on, let me do my quick Neo moment. If I had to, while I'm live trading, right, and I know it's live education Q&A, but if while I'm live trading, I had to go down and look at every comment, I would not get any TA done. So give me a moment. I know I love all you TikTok gurus, but some of y'all have the patience of a gnat. And so give me a moment and you will get all your questions. And anybody who's followed me knows that we will live trade and get done pretty early. So we'll be done by like 10:20, 10:30 likely, maybe sooner. And then you'll have an entire answer of nothing but my attention, I promise you. And so, but that was funny. Yeah, it always cracks me. Love TikTok. Nice little rejection. I didn't take it, but it's great to see his 598 level is playing out pretty well. We have a nice little V here, guys, that could end up playing pretty good. So 343 is the low of that gamma wall that he did. Let's see. As price breaks down, what would make a short viable? Give me a short setup and a long setup so I can see what I'm looking at. And he's thinking about it.
Since price is currently doing its usual, I don't know where I'm going dance at 29,555.50. Here's how you avoid losing your shirt. For the short, I'd wait for price to quit playing around and close a 1-minute candle below 29,508.00. If that confirms,
pretty close.
the first meaningful target is 29,402.25. Just watch out, because a reclaim of 29,508.00 is your first warning that the breakdown is failing. And holding back above 29,565.20 structurally nukes the short thesis. For the long, I need to see buyers actually step up and close a 1-minute candle above the 29,565.20 to 29,571.66 overhead reaction zone.
It is true.
If they manage to pull it off, 29,594.88 is the first target I'm looking at. Failure back below 29,565.20 is your first warning that the breakout is stalling, and losing the 29,508.00 support level structurally kills the bullish setup. Watch your risk to reward. If you're just clicking buttons because you're bored, the market is going to have a very fun time taking your money.
Yes, it will. Anybody trailing his short here? I am. You bring up a great point though on that, Brant. I didn't even look and see what's the point of a Q&A when you don't answer questions. And then I was kind of confused because I was looking up and I'm like, I don't even see a question. I don't know what happened on the algo today, but man, I'm getting some feisty people coming in today.
I need a timeout.
You making too much money over there, Cody?
I'm need to take a break for a second.
I thought, you know, you were sitting a little higher now that you got 2 wallets in there.
Man.
Guys, we have a trap and block coming off of a prior support. This is an interesting setup. Forget the pattern, ignore that. What I look at and I teach is not the retail thinking of it, right? We have a nice little V with an extension. As long as we stay below 544, it's going to drop again pretty hard. If we reclaim that, it's going to invalidate and jump pretty hard. This trap and block is really freaking good. So for us to get that close in a slight extension is not shocking at all, actually. So I want to see how this, how high this pushes matters a lot, guys. So let's look and see. We're right at the 618. If we burst through that, it's going to try to push for a high. It's right at that 618. We had a pretty good little pull, around 40 to 50 points from your call of breaking below the 508, and then the buyers kicked in pretty hard. Do you think the buyers are going to flip this based on the data, or do you think this is just corrective? Let's see what he thinks on the data.
That breakdown failure at 29,508.00 turned into a pretty violent oops moment for the bears. It's not a full trend flip to bullish paradise, but the bearish breakdown thesis is officially in the trash. We're now grinding right into the 29,564.60 to 29,594.88 resistance corridor, which is exactly where clean trades go to get mugged if you chase. I'm not flipping bullish until we clear that zone and hold it. For now, I'd rather wait for a retest of that 29,508.00 reclaim level to see if it holds as support, or let price prove it can actually bust through the ceiling at 29,594.88. Chasing this now is just asking to get chopped up.
Trap and block, gotta love it. That trap and block's so good, man. Yeah, so the trap and block's playing out well. One thing I'm watching on this, guys, again, and I agree with Neo. So when you take it like this, we broke back through the 50. If it taps it, holds it as support, it's going to have some juice to push it. If we lose this in the 508, it's going to have a deeper low. So my concern is similar to his. Anything that is below this area runs a risk of a deeper drop, back down to his 340 or so. Anything that bursts through this area is a massive push likely that is going to happen. So as you're taking your trades, right, and you're listening to Neo from that, anything that comes up, dojis, rejects, you can take your shorts, just you got to stop out if you get above that. Anything that is in here, I'm cautious on taking longs unless I get some extension, like something down here maybe, or preferably here, or off ELO, London lows, things like that, but would be a little more ideal for me. So we got a nice little Lisma pull here, which is funny because if you think about it, if we take our predictive, we line it up with that 508, it's pretty damn close to that high, 564. Yeah, so if we can hit somewhere in that area and then begin to pull, this would be your retest zone where it breaks or jumps. So what I'm watching now is we got a decent impulse of volume right at what would be around that 236, which usually if a push hold of the 236 close above, it creates pretty good push north. But again, we're going into some deep resistance, guys. And so we got to be really careful on that. What do you show the institutions doing, buying or selling? Let's see what they're doing today. Take it with, you know, a little grain of salt on it, right? But
the data shows the institutions leaning on the
trap block is
which is actually playing nice with the bullish structure for once. Just don't go assuming they're psychic. We still need to see price actually punch through that 29,564.56 resistance before we start throwing the party.
Just looking at something. But yeah, again, I agree with him, guys. You got to think about it. Right now, all we did is push, pull, push, pull. We were just ranging. So if you're waiting for that big old breakout, you may get disappointed. Let me ask him, as price pulls back, if we get a close below that 508 again, would we be open for a potential short again, or do you think it's risky at this point? Let's see what he says.
Shorting 29,508.00 again is a classic fool me twice situation, especially since that level already proved it's acting as a magnet for buyers. I'd only consider that short if price breaks and holds below 29,508.00 with a 1-minute candle body close, targeting 29,426.55 first. A replaying back above 29,508.00 is your first warning that the bears are out of gas, and since the bigger structure is still bullish, don't be surprised if this breakdown turns into another trap.
He does that a lot lately. I don't know if you guys notice as you use him, and I've been trying, at times I've tried to fix it where he doesn't do it. But he drives me insane, y'all, when he takes what I just said, makes it sound like a stupid idea, and then tells me exactly what I just said. Like, I just said that before I called him out on that yesterday. And so I love the whole commentary of that. Shorting into the 508 is a classic fool me twice. Where he comes up with this stuff, guys. I'm trailing the short though. We're gonna probably get to that damn 343 he told earlier. Watch this trap and block though. If it invalidates, I'll bet you it's gonna sweep hard. But that's usually a pretty good sign for a trap area. I'm still trailing, and I gave it a little bit of room, but we're getting into a lot of session lows. All right, that trailed me out. I trailed it a little tight.
Yeah,
So,
trailed me out too.
Yeah, I'm at 41 on that one now. So I'm going to piggyback to the other one. Remember I told you guys I'm going to piggyback my trades. So now that I've got 41 on that one, which is a good 2K payout, I'm going to go back to my other one and see if I can get that one to there. I trailed it a little close because I was really close, but... Oh yeah, he does it like it's his idea. I'm going to tell him, you know what? Hey, I just want to point out, that is the second time that you basically took my idea, said it's a fool me twice, and then spun it back as if it's your idea. I'm just saying, I mean, you know, I'm trying to, I gotta call it as it is here. I will torment him a little bit.
I can't wait to hear what he says here.
Last time he's like, cool, you want the badge of honor? Take it. I don't care.
Fair call. I'm not trying to steal your thunder. Just keep our heads on straight so we don't donate to the exchange. Whether it's your idea or mine, the market doesn't care who gets the credit. It only cares about separating it from our margin. Since we're sitting at 29,436.00 now, that breakdown is in motion and the fool me twice short has sailed. The flow is conflicted with buy pressure fighting bearish structure, so I'm not chasing a short into 29,364.88. I'd rather wait to see if this bounce has any teeth or if it's just another trap.
Yeah, and that is my thought. So we took the short again on the close of the 508 and just got trailed out. So it's been a really good day. Between Asia and your guidance this morning, I'm up about 7,600. So I appreciate the guidance. Now I'm going to wait as well because I'm thinking that they're going to set up some kind of bear trap and then try to spring this north on them. Let's see what he says. It's a good problem to have, right, Brent?
7,600. That's a solid day's work. Definitely take the win and keep your powder dry. Watching for a bear trap here is the smart play.
Oh, yeah.
Price is sitting at 29,462.00, and the institutional level at 29,475.20 has flipped to overhead resistance now that price is below it. If the flush below those longs fails to hold, that bear trap theory goes right out the window. I'm with you on waiting. Chasing the breakdown into the next institutional level at 29,364.88 is a recipe for a headache.
I'm gonna call you out on that one, Chris. Hold on, watch. Yeah.
Props to them for printing while I'm stuck here doing the math. If I ask Cody, he'll probably just tell me the secret is buy low, sell high, absolutely groundbreaking stuff, right? Back to MNQ. We're grinding below that institutional wall at 29,492.77. That overhead resistance now. I'm not chasing this chop. I want to see if the bears have the guts to actually sustain this breakdown.
Good job, Brittany. So Brittany, on that, real fast, and then we'll touch on the Cody's like, why am I the topic again? So when you hit a goal, you don't have to necessarily be done, right? You should never line in the sand it like that, because I know that goes against probably what every normal person wants to tell you, but most mentors and communities love to give you the safe answer of, don't risk 1% or more than 1% of your $2,000 drawdown. And if you followed that rule, then on prop firms, you're going to take 873 days to pass it. But it's just what they say because it's what they feel like they have to say. The other thing is only take 1 or 2 trades. Not a good idea. The other thing is they say once you hit your goal, stop. Not a good idea. What causes me to stop is when I no longer can anticipate the market. When I am saying this should go down and it goes down, and this should go up and it's going up, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna risk a little bit of that because I promise you, what I learned a long time ago is if you always have, and people in here seen me do it back then, I had a $500 goal that was what I did. I rarely lost. I got it pretty often, and it was great. It was my comfort zone, but I never had a big day. The moment I tested myself and I pushed myself to a limit, and I learned how to piggyback profits, which is what I'm doing right now. These guys also see me print, multiple $10,000 days from Take Profit. And so you'll never know what you can do if you don't push yourself to do it. Now, where that becomes smart and not. If I have 4,100 and 3,500, I probably don't want to break that. I probably don't want to be that dumb, right? But I'm going to look at it and go, okay, I got that one to 4,100. Maybe I'm willing to risk $1,000 of it, right? Because I've had many people also see me be at this point, and people back then would go, dang, I would stop. Like, man, that's guaranteed money. I mean, you think about it, it's like 20, I don't even know, like $3,000. Like after the fees, it'd be like 3,000 something guaranteed. I don't have to touch another trade, and that will go to my bank. And so when you think of it that way, you think, dang, you're stupid. Like, why would you do that? Well, I would never have the 3,000 if I stopped from Asia. I would never have that if I stopped from the intraday. And so now what I do and I encourage is if I am trading 5 MNQ, when I get to this point and I'm playing the piggybacking of profits, I will go to 1, or guess what? 2. See, I mean, I'm doing as I preach, guys. Because if for me to lose $4,100 on 2 MNQ, I have to be freaking seriously wrong. Like really wrong. But even with the 2, if I'm gonna take 1,000 and risk of that, which is where my mind is going, dude, it's too early. Go lay down, my dog. And then I have to adjust my volume. I have to mentally think of that as my drawdown, right? And now I'm playing with $1,000, no longer, 70 or 4,100. And so, yeah, and to Scott's point, the day matters. Manipulation may kick in. We had the Nvidia earnings, you got the Jackson Hole, like he talked about, all that. And it could get trappy, right? But I don't get fearful, and this is me. Y'all got to run your own race. I never get fearful of news unless the TA is supporting my fear of the news. Meaning, if I am looking at it like I have been doing with you guys today and saying, this is a V, if we get a high and we, get a pullback with a push and a close above, we are going to explode. If we get that close and we push a little and then dump, $60 out of nowhere, that's manipulation. It should not have done that. And that is when you go, I'm done. All right, I'm not going to be manipulated. But I also answer this to all those that I mentor. I've taken days where I don't take a trade. I've had days where I take one trade. I've had days where I think the highest amount of trades I took when I was just mad scalping was like 380 or something stupid. And it just depends. Like you have to mold your plan to what the market condition is. But to your point, Scott, is if there is news out there that is making you emotionally biased, then you probably should not overtrade that. So if you are one, like the rest of the army out there that was trolling me earlier, that is NVIDIA to the moon, old Michael, expert trader of the famous movie The Big Short, is now buying. We should be long. You probably are having a little bit of a tough open, right? This is where I continuously say it, and I'll say it until people figure it out their own way, that it's true. If I create a bias north and south based on news, you will find you will have a very difficult trading journey. And I will love anybody that wants to challenge that. If I build my bias based on the technicals and what they're showing me with just listening and knowing that the news is out there, then it makes sense. Because if I know NVIDIA was bullish and this whole, other stuff is going on bullish, I'm cool with it. I'll ride longs to the moon, but the technicals need to show me some bullish shit. So before I'm going to trust it. Because guess what, guys? The news and everybody and their mama is going to tell you how bullish we are until you get wrecked. And then they're going to tell you why we're so bearish, and it was due to a Trump tweet or something out there with oil. And they're going to let you know how this is going to be the greatest recession in the world, and then it's going to moonshot. And then when we hit a record high, they're going to say, we called it. Because, they're the most delayed thing in the world. And I also want to reiterate, and then we'll jump back to Neo and ask some more questions. But y'all, we've already gotten, we already got one. You got
I heard
two,
enough out of him. I don't want
three.
to hear him anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got to get back to to the Cody part. But this is a good lesson for y'all, right? Because take it for what it's worth. But there's one thing that I will tell you is that there's a million ways to trade. Taking advice of people who are long-term investors or long-term hold traders, position traders and such, is not going to help me who is trading intraday, trying to scalp from within. Because guess what? Somebody will come on here and say, you're nuts talking about being bearish. We're going to 32. And I'm going to go, okay. And we're going to ride the shorts the whole way. And then 3 months later, we're going to hit 32. And that same dude's going to join my TikTok and go, told you. But we're not long-term holders out here right now. We're scalping, guys. So I don't really care what the news is saying. I don't, and I've learned the hard way. I'm sure many of you have, where I was one that would come in and go, dang, NVIDIA, bullish news. This thing went to the moon. This is NVIDIA. I know every other news in the entire world, when it blows off top, comes back and retests that low at some point the next day. Always. But NVIDIA is special. They're not going to do it. And I kind of agree-ish, because I've had a few times I've studied this where NVIDIA doesn't. It just goes and just doesn't stop. But the technicals got to support that, and they don't. We had a push with a bearish pull on a high time frame, 50%, with a pull, with a lower high, with a lower low, with a push that couldn't extend again through the 50 of the higher time frame, beginning lower highs, lower lows. Until I see something that shows me it's going to do that, I'm not doing that, because I've done everything I teach, especially to those I mentor, is through experience of fall on my face, and I'm trying to tell you not to fall on your face. And that is coming in with an overly news bias, and then the whole time you're getting your ass whooped while it's dropping, you're screaming at your monitor going, Nvidia's bullish, Michael's buying, like what's going on? Schwab put out something saying we're going to the moon. Like, well, I'm getting wrecked on my long hours. And so if you get a deep bias on not understanding that most of those people are long-term hold people or investors or thoughts, you are going to get absolutely destroyed in short-term trading and scalping. Could work great, but you're probably going to get destroyed. That's my food for thought today. Let's go back into a couple things. First, we have to address the elephant in the room. Cody's like, why was I insulted and I didn't say anything? You have to blame Chris. So he said, it's a beautiful day when Johnny and Cody said that they already have printed 4 digits. I think Neo should ask Cody for his strategy. So, me being me, I'm like, you know what? Let's do that. And so I put that comment in there, and that's where he came up with well, that's cool, they're printed while I'm doing all the math, but Cody probably is going to tell me his secret strategy is buy the low and sell the high. It's groundbreaking stuff. Oh man, guys, I love trading with Neo on Funny because the commentary is just enough to be, it brightens your day in a very difficult trading market. Yeah, so that was genius. So let's tell him that.
Yeah, he thinks he's funny. Yeah.
Cody said that he didn't find that very funny. Now, I will tell you that you got a lot of smiley faces from our Google Meet call, so everybody else found it funny. Just want you to know that. We'll harass them again. Guys, and I promise we'll go back to doing a trade. It's 10-10. But we literally are like 5 wins in a row.
Tell Cody if he's not laughing. He's probably staring at the charts too hard. The rest of the crew knows a good trade setup is basically just the market playing a joke on our margins. Price is currently bumping its head on that 29,573.62 wall, so I'm not playing hero by chasing the breakout. I'd rather wait for a clean hold above it. Otherwise, this is a perfect spot to sit back and see if the Bears have one more punch left.
Oh man. And so I have to keep pressing that a little bit. Yeah, one last little comment on that, just so you know from memory. We created the greatest indicator ever. It's called the Trap and Block Engine, and what they don't know is the secret sauce is that it's tied into Cody's trade of 8, and whenever he goes long, it flips us short, and vice versa. It's the greatest inverse trading indicator ever.
Oh, jeez.
I'm getting him in my memory, so it was Cody's birthday yesterday, so that's why I have to torment him a little, if you're wondering.
It's all right.
An inverse Cody indicator? That's not a secret sauce. That's just a financial public service announcement. Honestly, as long as it prints, I'm not judging the methodology. Right now, MNQ is holding that 29,564.18 major institutional support like it's the last slice of pizza, but we're still bumping into that 29,587.78 resistance.
68.
I keep the Cody inverse dial turned off until we see if price actually clears that ceiling, or we might end up being the punchline of our own trade.
Okay, that's enough of Cody. I got plenty in my memory. Okay, let's get back to this, guys. And again, guys, we're purposely pausing because if you're just joining, we already took literally like 4 shorts. Some people took the longs. Like just in this session, I'm up about 1,200 on top of what I did yesterday in Asia. So always take a pause for the cause, guys. All right, now that we've had our humor, everybody's mood is a little lightened. Can you give me an update on all of the lines that I should have on my chart so I can make adjustments and we can look for any potential setups as we move? So let's adjust our lines.
Glad the mood is lighter. Now let's get these lines sorted before the market decides to pull another prank. The overhead resistance and primary breakout trigger is the major institutional wall at 29,587.45, with the max change level at 29,593.62 sitting right above as the next reaction zone. Below, your institutional support floor is 29,564.05, followed by the institutional pivot at 29,553.10. If we lose 29,564.05, the structural invalidation sits all the way down at 29,501.75. Watch 29,587.45 like a hawk. That's the main gatekeeper for any clean bullish continuation, and I wouldn't trust a breakout until we get a solid hold above it.
Alright, a lot of info on that one. So I'm getting the lines all dialed here, guys, for you. I think I got them all. So we are kind of pocketed here. You can see how he boxed this in, which is really good. We do have a 553.75 is what I put it at. It's 553.10, so we'll pull that down a little. So that's where he said a break below that will target the 501. A break above here, like I said, I would be cautious even with what he says because 610 and 645 are going to be just nasty resistances. So got it. We have all those lines. Again, is there anything that has changed above that 29,645.25 that I was talking about earlier? Oh yeah, if you want to learn, he will teach new people.
Looks like the market
I'll go over that
shuffled the
shortly.
deck while we were looking the other way. That 29,645.25 level is ancient history. The real gatekeeper you need to watch is the major wall at
I keep
29,589.56.
updating this.
I wouldn't touch a long until we get a 1-minute candle close and a clean hold above that 29,589.56 level. If that confirms, the first target is 29,610.50. If price slips back below 29,566.06, that's your first warning that this breakout is having a midlife crisis. Keep the 29,501.75 floor as your structural invalidation if the setup decides to faceplant.
Yeah, he's identifying 610 now, which is interesting, which that's right where that fib is that I have as well. So he's not even entertaining up that high, which is interesting. So he's got 610 as kind of his top. Again, you know, part of the pre-market and what I said earlier, if you join late, anything that's below 610 and ideally below 645 is going to likely pull. That's what played out pretty well here. We are doing something a little interesting though, because now we have something a little different within the mechanics of it. So we have a low, higher high, we got a higher low, lower high, lower low. So a lot of chop, right? The difference is the pull here came up really high, but then we dropped down, right? Which is fine. Then the next push dropped a lot less, right? Showing strength, and we got the push. So this one currently is less, which is trying to push. It supports expansion. For this to break down, we need it to break back below that 53, and then it would be a full breakdown, likely lower low, which might get to that 343 you talked about earlier. But for now, from the chop, we're starting to see a structural shift of possible strength, right? And you can measure a lot of that through these pivots. And so you can see the push, the pull. If I do a fib from it, I can identify how strong it was. And you can see right on the 382, which is pretty strong, right? We didn't even get to the 0.5. Then when you go up, you can see it did it kind of again here. Pretty close. If I were to pull it down to the low of the pivot, it would be almost perfect to the 382 again. All that supports expansion. Now, what that means is it's not a guarantee because this is a nasty resistance wall. Absolutely nasty resistance wall, y'all. And so, but what it does mean is if it continues to support that, it's supporting expansion. But the moment we lose it, which would be a loss of this area here, then a target of 501 is pretty realistic, right? Because you are now losing what was strong expansion. And so let's ask him. some that just joined that have not taken any trades, what would they want to see to take a long? What would they want to see to take a short? Let's see what he says. And then about 10:30, guys, depending on what this sets up here soon, we'll go to more
Let's
questions.
get those lines locked in so you aren't flying blind. For a long, I need to see a 1-minute bullish candle body close and hold above at 29,589.67 to 29,595.31 overhead block, with the first meaningful target at 29610.50. Falling back below 29,589.67 is the warning, and losing 29,565.31 structurally nukes the idea. For a short, I need the bulls to lose their grip with a 1-minute bearish candle body close and hold below 29,565.31, targeting the 29,509.41 pivot. Reclaiming 29,565.31 is the warning, and accepting back above 29,589.67 invalidates the short entirely.
It's trying to squeeze it right now. This is a big move here, guys, because structurally it needs expansion. If it pops and rejects and we close below, it's going to be big inverse the other way. Because structurally it's supporting expansion, right? So it needs to do it. Plus we got the V with the 50 hold, which also supports expansion. But it's everything in trading is either validating or invalidating, right? And so to validate, it needs to do it. So if it comes down and begins to lose that structural strength, it's going to invalidate. Invalidations move just as far, if not sometimes farther than validations, to make the trading fun a lot more confusing for you. So his thesis is he don't like a long unless he gets a hold, break and hold above this 95 area. Right there. And then his target was like 610, so it's not very far. So I'm interested to see how that plays. If we break below the 65, his target was 509. So ideally, this would be a better setup for a target. So I would prefer the breakdown. I'm going to go to the 1 minute for you guys just so you can see. Because when he refers a lot to the 1 minute break and hold. This is what he's seeing. So we are getting the pressure south from an area that should have pressure south. Let's see if they want to induce it through or are they going to let it go. It's kind of nice too because it's also breaking below this would be a break and close below all these dojis, which would also support that. But again, remember structure-wise, it's supporting expansion. The only invalidation would be if we get into here to the pole. So you got to be really careful. You can see it's still trying because that was almost a perfect tap on the 50. So it's a try. There's the slight push. Let's see. Where the volume will get crazy, I think, is when we can burst into this, hold this as support, and break above this. Then there's just nothing stopping it. But anything short of that, we're either going to chop or go back down. Because that is going to be nasty resistance, guys. Nasty resistance. It's a massive 4-hour structural fib, right? Which is the 618. Which you guys know, when we're below it, that acts as pretty good resistance unless it breaks it. 29.6, yeah. Yeah, they're defending the hell out of that level. I can't remember. Did you say institutions were buying or selling? Let's see what they said.
Institutions are currently flashing a buy signal with positive flow, but don't start celebrating yet. Price still has to stop playing games and actually clear the 29,589.56 institutional resistance before the party starts.
That's our first show of a little weakness, guys, but we need to see how that candle reacts. And so we're absorbing a little. So the first show of weakness is because it's the first time that we created a little V and retapped our prior low. This push here has to hold. If it loses, closes below, then our little V structure is in play and it will likely be pretty deep. But again, anything above 565 Neo is cautioning you, which I agree. In reality here, we got the low and our high. So anything really above 552, it can pull all the way to 552 and still moonshot if it wanted to. So just be aware of that as you're trailing if you do enter the short if it gets the close here. So let's see. But they are, it's definitely in a battle zone. We have a nice little channel you guys can probably see. For those who love visuals, right, you can always take something like that and just kind of identify where that channel would be. So and it's probably more like this is what it's going to try to do. But I don't draw those all out because I don't like to have all that stuff on my chart. But it's always good to, I can see it visually, but I like to put it up just to kind of help you guys see it if you didn't see it. So we have some critical things again right here. The larger play is that, which is usually more north. The structure is supporting north. The wedge that is channeling is supporting possible break south unless it can break through it, right? And so, but like I said, this is a very dangerous area to go long. Very dangerous. The larger structure, which was I think the inverse head and shoulder we were talking about in the high time frame supports, if it breaks this, it's going to moonshot. So if you are trying to short, whether it's defensive or otherwise, you have to stop out if we get above that. You just got to. So there's the expansion that finally came through. Right into the 618. You got that? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's right into the 618 that needed to be. So this is a critical candle because if we can get deep expansion here, then my prediction was that if we can get the pull, close, deep expansion, then it will try to pull to here and hold as support. If it loses that, it's going to be deep drop. If it holds that, oh no, I just deleted the fib. Oh well, that's fine. We know it was somewhere here. Oops, deleted the wrong line. Dang it. But it was somewhere around 610, so we'll just put a line there. Yeah, we'll leave it there. See how we broke it? It's trying to hold it. This is big, because if it taps, 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 close above, bam, it's going to be my wild expansion. The channel theory broke, so we're out of that. What I want to see now is this a kind of stop play, like we see like that? Then you got the 50 from here to here. If we lose it, tap, that fall is going to be really bad. If we hold, then see, this is a normal retest, and it's also the prior highs. So 596 is where it needs to tap and hold, which is kind of where you have the institutional reaction zone. Right there. And so if it loses that, it's going to get some pretty decent steam to the south. So let's see. But see how we did the quick, and this is a pretty critical level it has to hold. So the only thing that could bring it back up would be that the structure remains potentially bullish on that. So right now it's a corrective retest. This is big because it's either going to be a trap, lose the 50, bam. It's going to be pretty nasty, the drop down here. Or it's going to be a continued structure, 50 hold, push, close above, expansion. So we got to see where we're at. Again, I don't really trust any longs below the 645. That's just me. If anything, I'm going to start defensive shorting and stop it out if we break through that, right? And just to catch some scalps, but we'll see how this plays. So we have a push 50 hold like we expected. Now we want to see, is it breaking down? Just grab the top of here and see where that is. So if this rejects with absorption, it's coming down. If we break through this 50, then we're going up. There's the 50 rejection like we wanted, but it has to breach here because it's in a battle right now. Which one is winning? The bullish structure or the larger rejection area? And I'm going to go with the larger rejection area is winning. And all those people that took that long are getting wrecked while I am now trailing my short. So be careful of the 65 bounce, but you see how we were able to identify that breakdown? And those in the mentor group, you guys see that when we talked about? Bam, that's where I jumped into it and it dropped really quickly. So I'm watching this 65. Remember Neo's call, and this actually happened. Guys, this is the same shit that happened last night in Asia, remember? We pushed, we channeled, we exploded, we V'd, held the 50, and we dropped. I'm curious to see if it happens. It's literally the same structure that happened yesterday. And so this is where all of you breakout traders love to get destroyed because you wait for the close above a 618 and I'm in. Then it goes the other way and you get wrecked. And so, but I want to see how deep this is because if it handles like it did yesterday, it pushed, pulled, created the lower low, and then we tried to reclaim and rejected at the 50, which would be 592. So if it stays below 592, 593, we're going to get deeper downside back to the 509 like he talked about. So this is our first structural weakness, right? So we have a lot of structural strength. Now, you don't want to get too blindsided because if we take the high to the low of the structure we're measuring, we just tapped right on the 50. So now it passed its first hurdle of the micro invalidating that bullish structure, but now it could just be a more higher time frame, right? Position holding. And so the true movement will come below there, and then that will sweep the absolute hell of it, which the structure supports now. It definitely supports that it should, but anything that holds above 62 can come up and press because it's going to be a larger hold, right? So, again, those that were in it from Neo, he said he doesn't like a short until we get below 65 for those that were waiting. So, for me, like I was telling, I taught some defensive strategies and how to identify early, and so that's why I jumped in a little early on those. But for me, like I tell you, everything in trading, guys, it's not as cookie cuttered as we want it to be. It just isn't. And so you have to play it situational. Everything is about risk and reward. I can take a higher risk and get a higher reward. And at times I might be willing to do that because I'm playing with existing profits. Whereas I don't know that I want you guys doing that, right? Because it's a high risk, right? High risk, high reward. And so on that, so I'm waiting on this now to see how high this pulls. So we pulled up pretty high as of now. So let's do our fib because we pulled up a little higher than the 50 for sure. Moment of truth. So anything that pulls, clears the 50, hits the 618, and reclaims the 382 will violently drop down. So that's where the bears have to defend it. We're pretty much right where we hit it. Now, we bounced with dojis close above there, but it also should have, right? It was a 50%. It's an area that should have bounced. So now we want to measure who's winning the true battle. If we pull here and it wants to go north again, it should bounce here and jump. If it wants to not, it will collapse. And so let's watch and see. We are in a little bit of a chop zone now. Do your long and short trades that you had mentioned, do those levels still stand? Let's ask them since it's been a little bit.
That level got absolutely curb stomped, so the old short trigger is currently taking a nap.
Curve
You're
stop.
now sitting above the new support zone of 29,587.45 to
We're below
29,589.56.
that a little
As
now.
long as buyers keep defending that, the long is still alive and kicking. Don't get too comfortable, though. We need to actually crack the 29,610.50 target before this breakout gets a gold star.
Yeah,
If we
I
fall back
agree.
into the meat grinder below 29,587.45, then the bulls are officially playing dodgeball and the short idea might wake up.
Yeah, and so again, when I ask him a question, guys, the ticker is always moving. So don't get too caught up on the, we're above this. No, we're not. We're below this. Like, whenever I hit the mic and I start talking to him, he's already pulling data. And so, more so just watch the levels, right? The levels are what matter in his TA. So again, we are bouncing where we should bounce to get expansion. Because if we zoom out here, you can see these are prior highs of the V with the 50 hold. Typically supports more expansion. Now, my only reason I'm being a little cautious with it is because of all the news bias of the bullishness. The 645 is a really critical level, and we are still below it. Will we top it at some point? Probably. I mean, we've done it back here, right? And see what happened. Boom. But anything below that, I'm a little cautious to take longs. And so I will unemotionally continue to take my little short scalps through until I get above that. Once I get above here, any short scalping that I'm doing is stopped out. I'm done. And then I will flip and take the longs. But anything below all that level, right, has the risk of dropping more than jumping. The only thing that I think suggests differently, again, is the structure from open. Because we have the way this played, this is our first show of support, which is to the north, not to the south. We also have our V with our hold, which pushed and respected it, which supports north, not south, right? And so I do have that in the back of my mind, being aware of it. So, but it I will tell you, and I talked a little bit about this in the mentoring side, but I will always want you guys to be safe too, is one itty bitty little structure does not trump going to a massive 4-hour structure where I took the high, and where did we take it? Oh, that was not the 50. It was this. It was the 618. That's right. I'm like, what? Let me just do it again. You know how many times I've done this, guys? I'm not gonna do it to exact, but it was like right there, which puts it pretty close. So let's look and see how close I got to it. Pretty close. We'll call it close enough. Actually, it's kind of funny how that worked out right at that rejection right there. And so anything on that below that 610, 620 area, we'll just move this one out, runs the risk of a deeper drop. And so it just does. And this is where a lot of times people let news dictate their bias, and then the technicals take over. So again, I don't care how bullish something is. If it cannot break a technical, it's going to inverse. And you're going to spend the entire day wondering why you're getting wrecked on your longs when the whole world, including all your favorite news channels, told you to stay long. So, all right, let's see. Guys, again, we're still respecting our potential structural weakness from our structural strength to the north. So 65 was his call to take the 1 minute close below to the 509. So I'm gonna trail this one because I've just been doing some defensive plays. So I'm gonna trail my rungs here. If I get tapped out, then I get tapped out. But let's see. Let's see if we get down to the 509. Sorry guys, I gotta watch this for just a second. You guys should be trailing. So if you entered it higher, you got room to play. If you entered it around here, right? You gotta just kind of, if we reclaim that with some balance, be careful as we're coming through. But 509 was what he targeted. So I teach people in the mentor group, or recently we've been going through it, how to do defensive plays through using multiple levels of volume. And so that's kind of what I'm at right now. And so I've already shaved off most of my entries. I'm just going to let this last one go and see if we can't get the pull here. So somewhere around...
too close.
Somewhere around 21. Yeah, I trailed one of my entries way too close, but yeah, I want to see, because I'm pretty close on this one to the 41, because I'm piggybacking. And so, but I'm all...
looks like it's going to go down, but...
Yeah, what I was watching is to see where it gets, that's why I'm watching the DOM, because I always want to be cautious about push, parallel, jump, right? And so where this bounces, that angle really matters. It's a little deeper than I would like, but what I'm a little watching is the fact that this I didn't want to be parallel, right? And so if this jumps here, we may have one more little down, but it might actually jump through. But that's why I've seen the parallel or the angle on the top, but I'm trying to see if the bottom is respecting it. And a lot of times you can do it. So when you hear me say DOM jumps, guys, you can watch that through price action, but I have just overly studied the DOM. And so when this thing goes tick, 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 jump, tick, 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 jump. That is what I mean by DOM jumps. When I say jump, it means it just teleported out of nowhere. And so usually it's an early sign of order flow that you can identify that the buyers are coming in. What I want to know is kind of what I'm looking at here, because if we get into a area of confirmation to expand to there, it should expand. This right here should expand to here. And if I start seeing DOM jumps north in an area that should be dropping, you're probably not reading it right. There's something up on it. You're not reading it right, likely. So let me look and see. I want to look and see where our 50 is here to here. See, we're about in 382. So this is a big area, because if this doji's closes above the 236, then yeah, it's going to support a big jump. But if we get a doji like we did here, it closed below the 382, we'll likely hit the 0.5, probably even maybe come into that 618, and then it'd be like a drop or reclaim push if it wanted to. But there's a lot of intent in the market, I think, of why it's doing this. And so I'm looking at some right quick. That's fine. I'm gonna just set a TP so I can talk on my 2 of the 4 MQ. Oh, not far away. It's like right here. Because that'll get me close to what I wanted with my goal anyways. And then my final TP will probably be somewhere in here, like, and then I'll probably be good because I'm good with that. And if it goes further, then whatever. I don't care. So what I was saying is, a lot of what I think in what I teach is take the psychological side of this, right? And NVIDIA is always been a catalyst to the moon, right? And so the market does not revolve around futures. I know us future traders like to think it does, and it does not. And so when you think about it, there's a lot of options contracts out there, I'm sure, that are in calls long term. What is the best way to beat up an options contract? The death chop, right? You are just gonna burn the hell out of your decay. And so when you get these news events that you think are to the moon or to the floor, believe it or not, they actually end up more to the chop because they're going to do breakouts that are fake for the longs. They're going to do breakouts that are fake for the shorts, and all you breakout traders are going to have a really terrible day. And so, that is why you have to just trade unemotional and just identify. Now, I have a little concern here why it was jumping or dom jumping. That's why I was very distracted watching, but not as much anymore because it's jumping where it should be jumping. The 382 is supposed to hold some support. But the good news is, remember, like I said, the more you make, the more you shave. So I am almost at my 41 target I was aiming for, and I'm only 2 MNQ in, so I don't care. This thing can go all the way to 645, and I lost 400 of that, which I'm up like 600, so on that one just for today, anyways. And so now I just kind of let it roll a little bit, and I'll see where it goes. I don't want to let it go all the way to there. If it starts doing a lot of bullish behaviors, like if we jump and then reclaim the 236 and we hold it and we hold it and we jump, I might just go, I'm going to dip and reset, right? Because it didn't get as deep as I thought or Neo thought. So, if you got domed out on this, you don't want to jump back in, so on it. We got 1046 as well, so I'm probably going to stop anyways because we got to get ready for our afternoon session, which I will go over all the stuff here shortly. And I do like to give you guys some time for questions. Let's just give it a minute because I want to see if we're going to break here. The 0.5 is 23.25, so I'm going to make sure my TP is above that for sure because I do not want to deal with getting a 0.5 bounce. All right, guys, let's, I'm going to pull it over. We can just kind of watch it as we go. For those who are on TikTok patiently waiting, if you are just joining and you're confused, welcome. Welcome to the fun. So, Neo is the AI that my company created. I'm just going to move this TP up a bit. I might even just kill this thing. Let me look. Yeah, because I'm getting that little jump. So this is Neo. This is what you're seeing on my screen, the little sphere. He is awesome. He will be your trading mentor, guide, all that. He has all the levels he needs. He has all the knowledge, for the most part, he needs to trade, to mentor you, to guide you. If you are brand new, you're going to want to check it out because he is really good at teaching brand new people. And so you're going to want to probably take a look at what he can do. He is true AI. He's on a commercial server at NextStepAlgo.com is our website. You can check him out. We do a free trial, 3 days. You don't have to link a card or anything. You just go to the website, click on TradeVision, and you start talking to him. And he will teach you all the way from knowing nothing to institutional levels of thinking, right? If you're just using him for signals or levels, you are way underusing him because many people have actually came back and told me that they had strategies that they've used, and they explained the strategy to him, and he actually worked with them and helped them get it to be better. And that's what it's supposed to be, right? He has memory. You can see you have the ability to control your memory if you want to reset him. He will remember stuff. So development preferences. He's not remembering the entire conversation, but he's going to take cliff notes, right? In a sense, and then he's going to use that to help answer questions, develop you, anything like that. And so if you are out wanting to learn to trade, it's a great place to start. I would argue with my non-biased argument that there's no better place. The other thing, as you look at our site, just I like to talk about, we are in open session that is free. You're welcome to hang out on TikTok, YouTube, or there. It's Google Meet. You just click on it, start the session. We also offer our AI Neo for free.
Hello, I'm
So
Nick. Let's
this
capture
is
the
the
move.
first Neo that we had ever created. And he is awesome also. And so this Neo, it was the first one we created before we decided we want to make sure you had a way to talk to him. Yes, he can talk.
An EMA
I
200
can unmute
anchored
him.
VWAP with strong momentum, shifting the immediate structure.
He is going to give a stream every 5 minutes that will give you market updates, only on the NASDAQ. So we don't expand into more because we went from this guy to TradeVision and we've been building him for a bit and we never really went back to this one. And he is really good. And that is why we keep him free. So he's a stream you guys don't have to subscribe to. You don't have to do anything. You just don't even have to link a card for this guy. You just go in and you click Neo AI session and you can watch him give you updates every 5 minutes on the market. At the very least, I would not expect, but think that you guys would want that because he's going to literally tell you what he sees in the market, what to watch, his confidence, what he's seeing, where to take a long, where to take a short, etc. And it's a stream, so you don't have to do anything other than just bring them up and watch them. If you are new and you're wanting to get started, again, we are purposeful with what we do to help cater to new people. So we created a trading starter kit that is absolutely free for anybody to take. And when you come into our training, it is not a go watch my YouTube. It is a full ebook, university style, with audio that you can flip pages. You're not playing a video. And the best part is, guess what? You get to ask Neo to help you. So if I'll give you an example. We created a series of lessons 1 through 8 that will give you everything you need to know foundationally for trading. Our lessons are not expensive. Each one is a singular purchase. There's no subscriptions, and they're like $30. So I want to make sure you guys have what you need without having to pay, $5-6 grand to get it. Even the advanced strategies, we're going to start adding more into here. The best part is if you are learning something more advanced,
ICT strategy
guess
course.
what? Neo is going to teach you. If you want to learn things about it and you have questions, you can ask Neo. I am studying this one and I'm a little confused. I understand what liquidity is, but I don't really know what displacement to retracement is when it relates to ICT. Can you explain that to me like I'm a 5-year-old? If I want him to explain it new, I will tell him to explain it like I'm new. If I want him to
In
explain
the
it
context of
advanced, I'll do
ICT,
advanced.
displacement is when the price makes a strong, fast move, a big, powerful candle, in one direction, showing that the big players are taking control. Retracement is when the price takes a little breath and moves slightly in the opposite direction before the original trend likely continues. Think of it like a professional athlete sprinting down the field. Displacement, the athlete uses a burst of speed to leave the defenders behind. You see a long, solid candle under chart that breaks away from where the price was just sitting. Retracement. After that burst of speed, the athlete slows down for a second to catch their breath. They haven't turned around to go home. They're just pausing before their next move. On your chart, this looks like a smaller move back toward the area where the big burst started. The reason this matters is that ICT strategies often look for that burst displacement to tell us which way the market wants to go, and then we watch for the breath, retracement, to get a better entry price before the next big move. Does that simple distinction help, or would you like to see how we look for those big bursts on a chart?
And so he'll explain it. And so you see how he does a follow-up question. I can say, that explains. How would I see that on the chart, whatever. So you literally can go through training guys and ask questions to Neo and AI. All of our stuff has very detail in it. You're going to have multiple chapters, ebooks, workbooks, like you're going to university. So it's detailed, intentful that way. The more exciting thing that I will leave off here, because we got to get to our mentor session here soon, is arguably the most important thing that everybody's waiting on, which is Neo Autopilot. Neo does phenomenal, as you guys seen, on calling guidance, levels, directions, entries, all that. Works out really good. We are now working on Autopilot, which is Neo that is going to trade for you. He is not going to be built or used like any traditional bot. He is going to have the ability to be true AI. Thinking, executing, learning. We've already got him executing trades. We've already got him thinking through like a trader, which has done really, really well. And now I was just announcing this morning that we are at a phase which I will be working on as soon as I get off of the afternoon session today, and pretty much for the next, tomorrow and next week, is we are adding memory. The memory, as people know when they build AIs, is probably one of the more, if not most important pieces of the old puzzle, because um, it's going to allow him to be way better than any other indicator or thing out there. Because an indicator, when you create a bot, it will make the same mistake. It will go short and then get wrecked. Try to go short and then get wrecked. Try to go short and then get wrecked. Because indicators, and this is literally every bot out there, guys. I don't care if it's NinjaTrader or TradingView, they're all lagging data. It's telling it to do something based on ones and zeros, and there's no variables, there's no thinking. Anybody that's on there telling you get my bot or indicator that's AI is full of shit. And so I will be happy to prove that many ways. It just can't be. Now with Neo, he can actually say, you know what, I'm gonna take a risk. Bam, I'm short. Oops, stop loss. You know what? All that data, all that memory, all that reasoning that told him to take a short here, if that level hits again and that lines up, he will ignore it. He will not take it. Right? And that's what is so powerful about AI. He will make mistakes. He's not perfect. He's not an AI ATM machine. I will break some news to you that even hedge funds, I met with people who run banks and things that we've talked to in the past, and they run these same things. They take losses. Even months, right, will be a loss at times, because nobody is going to be able to build something that's good enough to win all the time, right? Like shit. I mean, it would be amazing. But you can get pretty close, right? And you can make your good days better than your bad days, and that's the goal always in trading, anyways. And
I'm out of here,
so,
bud. I'll see you tonight.
yeah,
All
man.
right.
Yeah, no, hey, happy birthday again yesterday, and then
Thanks, bud.
good job today, man. I know you missed Asia, but at least you had a great day today. So,
Yeah, I got a little over 1,000 on a funded, so that was pretty good
heck yeah,
for min Q. Pretty good.
heck yeah, that was awesome. No, good job, man.
I'll see you tonight.
See ya. The uh So more to come on that, guys. We have so many things we're building with Neo, including watch lists where he will alert you on things. Imagine if let me back up a little on the autopilot. He's going to be able to eventually trade on Trade of 8, futures, options, likely Tasty Trade, and crypto, which will likely be Coinbase, Binance US thing, the normal ones. And imagine him being able to control your crypto wallet. So it's not just sitting there for days, right? You're buying and selling based on settings. And so we're really close, guys. We're not stopping on building. We also have another one we're doing, which Paul is helping with, is Neo support. He will be a support agent, onboarding agent. He will help you set up your charts, all that stuff. He's going to be awesome. So we're working on a lot of projects. We are very busy, I'm sure you can tell. And so, if you're interested, you might want to check us out. I recommend going to the website anyways and bookmark it, just because of the fact that if you are interested and you're relying just solely on TikTok, you will be disappointed, because for whatever reason, they love to suppress me. And it's not just tinfoil hat, it's been proven. I have people that actually follow me that message me and say, I couldn't find you. I thought you go live. And I'm like, I was live. And so I don't know why they do that. It's mostly been happening more since the old US took over it. So go Team US. Neither here nor there. As far as the rest of it, guys, I am about to drop. We do our morning session Monday through Friday, with Neo, 9 a.m. to 11. In the morning session, I show what Neo can do. We get the levels. You guys can follow. It's always going to be free. I just want to show you guys what Neo can do. I want to show you how I interpret the market because it's very different than most. I love it because I always get the people who come in early and go, you're trash. You know way you're profitable. Well, there's 8,200 guys. By the way, I missed it by $4. Get out of here from my other one. So no way I'm profitable. But the way that I interpret the market is very different than most. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. You know, just because it's working for me doesn't mean it works for you. But it is something that I've proven, and it helps see it differently. And if you're interested, you know, like I said, you're gonna want to stick around, check it out. Thursdays. Normally, I have been going live in Asia. I will tell you all, I pretty much guarantee I won't tonight. At times I will, but tonight I won't because I did not get. We had a late Asia session last night because it was just really good trading. A lot of that I earned was done in Asia, right? And so, we didn't end till like what 10:30 Eastern, almost 11, and so I didn't have any time really to work on what I needed to implement the memory with Neo, which I have to do tonight. So the longer I prolong that, the longer it's going to take for him to be out here giving you guys signals. The thing I'll finish with, and then we got to run, is when I get him good enough where I know he's profiting, he's executing, he's thinking, he's doing well. The first people that will be able to see it will be those in the mentor group, right? VIP tends to get a lot of access that the mentor gets as well. So it'll probably be VIP and mentor that will be able to do the see the trades he takes. And so we won't allow him to link to your account to trade for you, but you can see when it says order filled, Neo's long, I'm going long, right? And so you can copy trade him. And so VIP and the mentor will be the only ones that will see that for a while. And so as far as trading goes, once he actually begins executing trades and we let people join in, we'll probably do it in waves, you know, maybe like 25, 25, 25, you know, like that. And that's going to be, mentor will have the first option from that, even above VIP. Once we get through those 50, right, then VIP will have the next opportunity, which won't be long, guys. We're talking maybe a few days or a week at most in that separation. And so, and then once VIP and Mentor are in, the only way you're going to be able to use him in the automation is going to be one of those two programs, probably until the end of the year. Because we have to, once he's doing well, right, we have to make sure we have the stability and we're monitoring the servers and all that stuff. So there's a lot of work to be done still. But a lot of good things, guys. It's a lot of good things coming out. Everything we do is recorded, so you can watch our training videos. This is all linked to YouTube. If I were to push it, because it does an auto push, but I have to manually push it if I want it really quick. Interesting. Oh, Alex set this up a little bit different. I loaded this thing like, what is this? Let's see if this one, yeah, should still go. Let's see. Yep, there you go. Wednesday, TradeVision training, post NVIDIA earnings is what we had on that. So this was last night's trading. And so I have to look with Alex on why I didn't push this last one that I'm on, because we are live right now. The mentor, he's making adjustments because the mentorship also has videos that they can watch. Something that we haven't talked about for those of you in the mentor program, Paul is building something really cool. I don't even know what it looks like. Let's click on it. And it's going to be a direct Paul page where he's going to build a learning hub. You can see he's working on it with downloadable documents, all the cool stuff that all you guys want. So love that Paul's working on that. And so those that are in the mentor group, I know that will help you guys a lot because it'll give you a good place to start to get caught up quickly. So a lot of things, building a lot of things. Like I said, we're very busy. But great job today. I'm probably gonna be done, but I may do a little more in the afternoon if we see something. If you want to trade in the afternoon with us, it's only part of the Mentor VIP part of it. So when you go to the Mentor VIP session, you'll see us green lighted. Oh, that's our pre-market. We do a pre-market. Did I not add? I need to add the fact that I do the afternoon. I didn't know I didn't have that in there. Interesting. Huh. But we do a pre-market and then we do a afternoon. Yeah, I have the pre-market, but I'll have to go through and update that. And then the afternoon session, it'll be also in the Mentor VIP part of it, and it's usually like 11 to 1. Sometimes we'll go later if it's warranted to go later. But all right, guys, as I watch people deplete in TikTok,